morning. What is it? It's about noon Eastern. Saratoga, oldie out of town. We got it covered. If you're E user, notes in Equine Edge. A race card, Saratoga Thursday. Uh, it's I don't know, the card okay. It looks like weather-wise they're gonna be fine. There were a few races where we saw scratches. But let's go through it. It's not gonna be long. We'll do a quick today, and then we'll be back tomorrow too with Saratoga, and then we'll be back to Gulfstream on Saturday. Race one, I mean, it's maiden claimer. This is not a great group. Oath looks like a single. Linda Rice having just an absolutely, obviously outstanding meet. She's second wins, just three behind Chad. Her other runner, the 5 to the inside, she scratched it or it got scratched. But I mean, there's not a lot here. The 6 horse looks like it's just going to run this group off their feet to kick off the card. Maybe you find some value underneath, or I'd single here in the early pick 5 for me. Gets an easy lead, extends the lead. I mean, there's just not a lot in this group. They're going 8, but Comes has the strongest GSR, comes from one of the stronger strength of race, gets an easy lead all the way to the stretch, and then at the finish closes it out. So I mean, you got Manny, you got Linda, both second leading trainer and second leading jockey. Jose dominating. Jose riding after Fairgrounds, comes here like absolutely riding incredible. Best of his career for sure. His brother obviously out hurt, but Jose dominating. He got the meet lead by 12 wins. Linda only 3 behind Chad though, so she's right there. She's got runners today too, so she's gonna try to catch Chad Brown. I think Chad only had 1. But 6 looks like a lock to me in the first. Turf sprint, always tough. I was 8, 4, 6. If you're deep spread, I use the 1-3-7, which singling early, but one gonna have a pretty easy lead. You can see that pace advantage here in race 2. They're sprinting 5.5 on the turf. At the stretch, they're all coming, but the 1 take them a long way. 8 right there. If you're E user, anytime you see those little yellow dots, again, I'm covering for oldie today, so notes can be a little bit different, but LaRose, Kendrick, has run well at this level, takes a big drop, broke the main special weight, second off the claim. I mean, was at Fairgrounds, won here on the dirt to break the maiden. The turf efforts are respectable though versus this similar group. I mean, those are maiden groups, but he ran well. So I put this horse on top. You're probably getting a good price, as a strong genetic strength rating. Should be just fine on the turf. Armet, Jose, Steve comes right off the maiden win, but fits versus this group. Steve obviously having a good meet. Limited runners, only 56 runners, but hitting at 23%. Fifth in wins with 13. So, I mean, absolutely fits versus this group. Turf sprint's always really tough, but could improve there. Really weak GSR. I mean, when you look at that all the way at the bottom versus the 8. And then Life Fantastic into Diamonds. You're the 1. Well, let's talk about Knight first. I mean, Edgar's Eye is only 5%. Lisa Lewis ships in here from Gulfstream. So kind of interesting there that she ships in, gets Edgar. Edgar never rode. He's been in New York, obviously, as he left Gulfstream Park. But, I mean, he only 5%, you guys. Like, you all probably playing a little more Saratoga than I am. I usually play Del Mar in the summertime. But I've played New York racing. I mean, this is brutal. I mean, 5% for Zayas? Was he, essentially 5 for 93 probably? That's tough, but I mean, that's an easy lead. So maybe can get loose out front. Could be tough. I see I might have lost connection there real quick. Sorry about that. But, they're going to be coming after this one horse. Whether it's the 6, the 7, I don't think so. But the 6, Life Fantastic, second time Brad Cox off the claim, could be extremely tough here as well, coming off the pace for sure. I mean, again, if Knight backs up, it's kind of open, but I land again 8-4-6, then 3-1. Maiden State Bred Claiming Group, 35,000 here in race 3. I mean, Medieval out front, big pace advantage. I think this horse comes back though. 2-3-6 for me. Boyer War, Max Onitas, and Maiden Blue. They're all firsters, but I take the firsters in this race versus the runners with experience. One of them, I think, gonna win. Boyer War, I mean, has a nice work here, breezing smoothly ahead of debut. Could be one to watch. Obviously, George Weevil, Ricardo Santana. Ricardo having great meet, 5th and wins at 23, ahead of Tyler Gaff, but Tyler riding a lot less in New York. He's not here today, but yeah, I mean, this is a dangerous debut runner, and then you got a Steve Jose debut. They're hitting at 29%. We know Jose dominating. We talked about that, hitting at 27%, dominating at the Saratoga meet. Scrat, good to see you. Yeah, I cover him for Oldie in the next couple days, so figured I'd do a video since we put notes in. And then you got Maiden Blue, the other firster for Linda and Manny. Linda trying to take the lead today from Mr. Chad Brown in the trainer standing. She's only 3 behind, so she can try to catch him. But I think it's one of the debut runners. What I say, 2-3-6. 2, Scotty Longshot, first-time starter. Dangerous angle, you all. It's been a flat bet profit for so many years, and it hits at good prices. That's part of the reason why. But, and this horse working well. The 3 working well, too, though. I mean, from the limited kind of works that I could kind of find, this one ships in from Churchill. But I think a debut runner win this race. They all got these horses placed at the right level. Race 4. I mean, the Chad has a debut runner here. Dry on the 4, Cash Burn. If you're narrow in the pick 5 or pick 4 or other horizontals, just 2-4. If you want some coverage, add the 3-5-1. We talked about the first-time starter, Chicken Motion, Scotty Longshot, Angle. But you might get through with the 2-4. They're both, you got a Weaver with Johnny V and then a Flavian Pratt with Chad Brown. I didn't really love Pratt's mounts today, but that one for sure looked live. I mean, this horse fits. I mean, but based on the works, there's a few here that fit, right? But again, you narrow 2-4 if you're spreading, 3-5-1 probably. I mean, you could even add the 6, but you might be able to get through with just the 2-4. Race 5. I knocked it down to these 3. The Wesley Ward runner, Deported. Got deported, I guess, from, it was all over. I mean, this horse has been racing nearly all over the world. Struggled to get the win. I like the 5 or the 1 on the lead. The 7 obviously fits, though, but cut half the field. The other third of the field scratched. The 1's going to be loose out here. It's just something about the 7 horse. It's had all types of chances. But this is not a great group. So horse can't take heavy action. I mean, morning line at 1-2. I mean, this horse going to be 1-2, 1-5 probably. But the 1 take him a long, long way. Himothy on the race sim on the turf. I mean, could surprise, maybe get a price here. Wins the race sim. I mean, to be a heavy favorite. Ramoket 0-for-9 at the meet, but you have Carmouche only 7%. Has experience, has not been in the lead since 3 back. Ran a good race there, has been running at this level. I like the 5-2 though for Miguel. Comes out Gulfstream off the way up. This horse working outstanding, looks fit, ready to roll and Deported. But I mean, I'd try to get some value here in race 5, probably try to beat the 7 because everybody going to be on this horse by the looks of it with the morning line and the win percent. So 157 for me. I just 2-3 here. Heavy favorite and Valtellina. And then you got Sweetest Princess with speed on the main track. There might be enough speed that this just sets up pretty easily for the two. They're going 8, state bred optional claim. I'm probably just using those two in any type of horizontal sequence and try to get through. Box wine had a little bit of interest. That'd probably be where I'd land third, but the exacta might be a good play here too. Be curious if the 3 can really hold on like that. Princess Becca doesn't run at all on the race sim. I mean, hangs around for Noda. This horse gonna take some action though. I think Jose rides no Irad, but yeah, I think the pace here sets it up for the 2 horse. But if they let Lascano riding for Linda, and how is Jose 2%, you all? What's wrong? I mean, I know the Saratoga meets tough, but he's not a 2% jockey. Is he? And again, I haven't played much Saratoga at all, I will tell you all. But I played New York racing for a while, and I mean, he's great on the turf on long shots, but usually hits better than that. But I guess Jose and Manny getting all the good Linda mounts. But he has a good one here. I mean, this horse fits. I mean, look, been on the lead, nearly won at a 62, kind of similar level prior to the layoff. Like horses that come right back, running a good race last out prior to the layoff. Looks fit, ready to roll, and working well. But the 2's taking a big drop for Ray, stays protected. Dylan rides. I mean, this horse, that's its 18-point strength of race drop out of the grade 2. I mean, if it runs anything back here on the cutback to 8, should be able to win this race. The GSR goes up a little bit at 8 furlongs too. I know it hasn't done much. Was in the slop here. It was DQ'd the last time it went 8 at the Big A. And then here was DQ'd in back-to-back races. I mean, that's brutal for connections. I didn't get a chance to watch them, but the move back to 8 should be good. And again, but the pace is a big question in this race. Might be a little bit contentious, but I don't think they're going to go fast. So I had the 3 hang around. I always run the race sim to the stretch to take over, but 2-3. Again, box wine, maybe underneath. So I personally think Jaxer is a vulnerable favorite at 5-2. I'd take the 3 horse over the 7. So that I didn't really find much. That'd probably be my vulnerable favorite of the day. Chalmers is live. Source has run well. This is a competitive stakes for 3-year-olds. They've been racing versus each other, and I like Spirit in New York maybe to turn things around versus this group. Jaxer, 5-1 on the morning line, and this horse does not run well in the race. And with all that said, Flavian Pratt choose Jaxer for Grand Motion, and he'd been riding Chalmers. But on the race sim, it's the picks. The 7 doesn't run, so I put the 7 as a vulnerable favorite of the day. I didn't find many others. And 3-1-6 for me. I just trust the race sim in this race. A little at first for Tapaz. He's having a good meet. Limited runners, obviously. 1 of 58 here. And drops 4 points from last out. 1-2 back versus 58. They do cut back to 8 for the first time. So that raised a little bit of question. But Castellano was aboard both wins. Gets back aboard. Irad hurt, obviously. And, this horse going to run a good race. When we talk about Jaxer, won 2 in a row. Lengthy layoff, though, you all. As I mentioned, one of my favorite. And where's this horse coming from? Coming from Fairhill. Fairhill. Again, take action, probably, right? Head of Plains Partners, Grand Motion, coming out of Fairhill. So this horse going to take money for Graham. But again, there's something that just doesn't. I don't love the layoff. I mean, the works are, I don't know, Graham does well coming out like this. So he finds a good spot, but this is a competitive stakes, I would say. And again, I think the DePaz runner has a big look. We talked about Chalmers, 1-2 in a row for Ray. Faced the 3 and the 6 last out, one coming off the pace. I mean, there's cheap speed here, right? So I think there's enough speed. The 6, Spirit in New York has been kind of running. It hasn't been able to rate, but maybe can get a good stalking trip, but hasn't necessarily run the best going 2 turns. But Jose should be right there, gets off the rail. So both these efforts on the rail, and 2 back ran a good race. For Rice, second time in the Cocksporn, you get leading rider Jose Ortiz. I mean, Jose and Manny today. I mean, we talked about a couple others. Castellano might get one. Johnny V might get one. But Jose and Manny been dominating 1-2 in the stats, and I think it continues today. And again, look for Linda to, maybe try to take Chad over if she can get 3 wins. But she right there for the. But I'm trying to beat Jaxer. In the last, there's a lot of speed in this race. I think it sets up for the 2. River Tay at a price also. I like the 2 quite a bit, though. Strongest strength race, strongest GSR, top pick, top win. And there's a lot of speed. I know that the 8 kind of get loose like that, but I don't trust this horse out like that. The 2 wins the race, Tim. That's where I go on top. Probably one of the strong outside of race 1, probably one of the second strongest opinion. I think this race sets up, and the 4 could be right there. I'd definitely be looking at exact place here. I like the 2 a lot. Maybe do something with the 4 for Dylan, but the 2 on top, off the claim for Brad Cox. Good boy. Manny rides absolutely right now. Outstanding, as we keep talking about. Second time on the drop. You look here off the claim, 6 wide upper ran on. They do get back to 5.5. But a year ago, she won this same type of race off the pace at the end of the card, right? That was back on August 2nd, so nearly a straight up year ago. But I think that with all this speed, Gracie's Delight, that's right. I was 2-4-6-8, but I like the 2 quite a bit. And but the 6, I think, needs the lead. And Johnny V 100% setting here for Linda. The 8 needs the lead. And again, the 6 getting over to the turf, back to the turf. But this horse burned a lot of money. The 8 needs the lead. Sarah has this here to ride. First mount at the meet. So this horse is live, but they are going to be flying. And I think this 2 just mows them down. And again, we got Manny and Brad. I mean, 29%. Is this horse really going to be 3-1? I don't think so. The other's going to take action. The 4, the 5 going to take action. I mean, maybe the 2, the favorite. I don't know. The morning lines are pretty aligned, right? I mean, a lot of horses from 3 to 6-1. But the 6, 8, 9 on the race sim, they're all, 6, 8, 9, all going to be out here. I just think the 2 gets a dream trip. I think the pace comes back just like the race sim says. All right, y'all. I'll let y'all go. Wanted to get that in real quick. Well, post time in about an hour. And then I'm on Scotty busy today. So if you want to join the Equinedge coaching class, we'll be covering Saratoga. I'll shoot out a sheet if nobody knows. I usually throw it out for Gulfstream. It's everything we just went over, but I'll send that out on X. And again, I'll be on the coaching class here in about 45 minutes. I'll shoot a tweet out as well. And if anybody wants to join, it's welcome. Free Q&A. We'll handicap some live races, watch racing, and look at some Saratoga. But we'll probably look elsewhere. We got a couple other tracks running too. So. All right, y'all. We'll be back tomorrow. Filling in for Oldie today, tomorrow, and back to Gulfstream this weekend. But good luck today. Chat soon.